Is this the world's smallest mouse? Let's have a look. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out this. This is the Kakkoo Micro Mouse, and as you can see, it's really darn small. In fact, it's 2.5 inches long, or 66 millimeters, 1.1 inches, or 29 millimeters wide, and 1.4 inches, or 35 millimeters high. It is so small, you can literally cover it in your hand, and then it's like a magic trick. Boom, I have a mouse. What is it though? It is a Bluetooth rechargeable laser mouse, and it features, as you would hope, left and right, a scroll wheel, and a middle button. There's a little LED to show you what's going on. And what I have here is I have a production prototype. So it's like I went into their lab and got a chance to see one of these, what they say are hand-assembled prototypes. So here's the deal. They went on to Kickstarter and they successfully funded, but then they paused the campaign and they just said, you know what, we want to add some features and then we're going to come back with the second generation, and that's the one we want to ship. So this is sort of an interim unit. This is basically what the first gen would be, but I'm going to tell you about some of the cool new features they're going to add, which are going to be really nice. So this features a 400 milliamp hour LiPo or lithium polymer battery, which should give you about a month of use on a charge. How do you charge it? There's a little USB-C plug on the side. Now that turns out to be really important for another feature too, but we'll get to that in a second. So it works great as a mouse. On the bottom there is a Bluetooth button for pairing. There's an on-off switch, super important. If you have something this small and it's in your pocket or your backpack or your purse or your computer bag or something, you don't want it accidentally being on and actually using its battery. So little tiny slider, I will turn it on, and then you'll see that the little LED is flashing. So now when I open up my computer, this is a MacBook running Mac OS. And I'm going to show you one of the cool features it has is it actually has what they call presentation mode. So I'm going to actually launch a presentation, and you're lucky we're not going to actually do this talk, but you'll be able to see here. And now I push the middle button on this to get it into presentation mode. And now by clicking the button, I can control the presentation. Tell me that's not pretty darn cool. So this also gives you a presentation mode. So nice. It will work with Keynote and Microsoft PowerPoint. It's going to be really helpful. But what's really cool, and this doesn't have it, but they will have it in the final product, is there's going to be a secret USB flash drive hidden inside the mouse. A 64 gig storage unit that you'll access also from that USB-C. What a great idea. So I can have my mouse, not only can I store my presentations on it, but then I can use it in presentation mode to actually give the presentation, all in this tiny little thing. Now, the unit I got did come with a USB-C to regular USB cable. I'm guessing that the final product will have a different cable. That's okay, because really what I need for this MacBook Pro is USB-C to USB-C anyway. But being able to plug this in and actually access it as a flash drive too, what a cool idea. Kind of wish that they actually had some way that I could access it and maybe up the storage, because 64 gigs sounds like a lot if you're an old school or an old timer. But for modern times, 64 gig isn't that much, and maybe being able to upgrade it yourself to something like 256 gig would be even more cool. I don't exactly know how they do that, because as soon as you allow customers to open your product, then you have a lot more risk of things going haywire. But still, in terms of additional features, that would be a nice one. One of the other things that the new version will have is what they call 3D mode. This will be Air Mouse. So get it in the right mode, and if you're looking at something like Google Earth, you'll be able to lift the mouse up and do gestures, and those will be transmitted to that program, and it will actually interact. So you'll be able to, for example, like tilt the map by doing that, or maybe move the map forward by leaning forward like it's a little plane control or something. So that's going to be really cool. I like to refer to that as Air Mouse, right? So, works with Windows, Mac, iOS, really anything that can handle a Bluetooth mouse, this should work just fine with. And I've already given you the dimensions, so really the only thing to talk about is the price, and I don't know what that is. So I can just tell you that when, it was on Kickstarter, it's gonna come back to Kickstarter. You can do your own homework to see how much it was, and then, maybe extrapolate from there what it's likely to be. But I will promise you this, is that when it's back on Kickstarter, I will, in the description of this video, add a link. So subscribe, and I think you would notice if I change a description. But in any case, you definitely want to check out, and go ahead, please, and subscribe to my channel. Appreciate when you do that. So all in all, this is the Kakkoo Micro Mouse, or they just refer to it as the Kakkoo Mice. I'm not sure about singular versus plural. Maybe you get more than one. But in any case, it's one of the coolest little gadgets I've seen for a while. And it may be a production prototype, but it's a pretty nice one. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on this company, keeping an eye on Kickstarter. And when this comes out, make sure that you fund it. It's definitely going to be one that's going to be a keeper. So with that, I'm not going to go back to my presentation, but I might try it with a game just because. So that's all I got, and I'll catch you in my next video.